do you want me to do? Bury it? Is it starting to rot? Just read me from the paper, Nick.
But most of the jobs, somebody must have taken them by now. Look, I'll go down and I'll get a newer paper.
Nick, we don't need a newer paper, okay? I'll tell you something right now. All the really important jobs stay forever, okay? Now start on the first page, help wanted, mail. Read me from the paper.
Administrative exopy to $90. What's that?
Administrative assistant, excellent opportunity. It's nothing. Keep reading.
But $90 is $90 more than you're making now. Nothing is what you make now.
Have you ever considered being the first 12-year-old boy in space?
But $90?
You go being an administrative exopty, Nick. They need men like you, Nick.
Yeah.
Remember last week? I said I was going to go and look for work. Truth be told, I went to the movies every day, actually.
Murray, you mean you really
Well,
didn't?
don't give me any of that indignant crap, Nick. I mean, I have to be admitting something to you right now. It's bad enough I should have to share my adult problems with a grotesque churn, let your dirty books on top of it. Tell you something though, swell crowd in the movies on a weekday working afternoon. Nobody there sits next to anybody. Everyone that goes there figures that everybody else is a creep. And all of them are right. Hey, have you ever been to the Empire State Building?
Yes, with you. 6 times. In November.
Have you ever been to the Statue of Liberty?
No.
Hey, today is Irving R. Feldman's birthday. We will go to the top of the Statue of Liberty. We'll watch the Queen Elizabeth roll in, full of those poor, tired, puddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Why did you go to the movies when you said you were looking for work?
There's a window right in her navel. We'll look out and we'll see
Are you
everything.
really tired or what?
Okay. Nick, here's the thing. A while back, I was going to check with Uncle Arnie and some of the other agents about writing for some of the TV shows coming up. And I was on the subway on my way there, and I stopped off at 42nd Street, and I went to the movies. You know, Nick, there are 11 movie houses on that street. It is movie land. It breathes that seductive, carpety, minty air, the inside of movie houses. Almost as irresistible to me as pastrami. Now, the big question for me, the question is, when the sun is shining right down in the middle of a working afternoon and all those people are going in there, the question is, are all they as embarrassed as I am? But once you've gotten in and you've got your ticket torn by the old man inside, all doubts just go away. Because inside, it's dark. And it's a scene that's to fracture the imagination of even a nut like yourself, Nick. Inside, it is lovely and a little damp. And nobody can see you. And the dialogue is falling like rain on a roof. And there you are. You're just sitting there deep in front of a roaring, color cinemascope, stereophonic, nerve-cooling, spine-softening, heartwarming, perfect happy ending picture show. And it's just Peacefulville, USA. There are men there with neat mustaches who have shaved and shined their shoes and put on a tie even, just to go and sit alone in the movies. And there are nearsighted cute pink ladies who eat secret caramels. And these very old men that are always sleeping. And the ushers, buddy, you are not kidding these boys. I mean, they know you're not there because you work a night job or you're on vacation or you're waiting for a train. They know you're there to see the movie. It is the business and the purpose of your entire day. And they give you that sneaky little smile to show you that they know. The moral question for me here is this. When one is faced with the bare-ass job hunter girl on one hand, and then 11 50-cent double features on the other, what's the mature, sensible, and mentally healthy step to take.
Murray, what's wrong?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Murray, are you alright? Murray, let's go to the Statue of Liberty.
All right. Well,
Mr. Burns, it really would be better if you would let the child go downstairs or outside to play or something while we have our discussion. Your case is one.
our case. Well, pardon me, I had no idea that we were our case.
Well, we do have a file on certain students at Revere.
Oh, so we're on file somewhere. Are we a great big file or are we a little teeny file?
Well, in view of the fact that you haven't answered any of our letters or several of our phone calls, there are many areas in which the file. You were a script writer for several years and you wrote for an NBC program quite regularly?
Yeah. Yeah. I was chief writer for Guido Herman for a while there. Better known as Chuckles the Chipmunk. Friend of the Yunnums, seller of Chuckles chips. The chips that your friend Chuckles the Chipmunk chomps on and chuckles over.
And the reason you left the employ of...
Well, I quit.
You felt this was not the kind of job that you would like to...
Well, see, I felt that I was not reaching all the boys and girls out there in television land. It's not so much that I wasn't reaching them. See, in a way, they were starting to reach me. 6 months ago, a perfectly adult bartender asked me if I'd like to have an onion in my martini. And you know what I said? Gosh and gollies, you betcha! That's when I knew it was time to quit.
May I ask if in the past there has been much of this shifting of position?
Oh, no. I always take an onion in my martini. That's a constant. I swear to
Mr. Markowitz is concerned about you, cares about you, and everything. And I am sure that if you were to bring her out some of your favorite toys and playthings, she would love them just as much as you do.
Well, there's Bubbles.
Oh, no, I don't think you're very interested. You see, Bubbles is... Well...
Bought an electric statue. He had got an electric battery timer that makes her turn on and off like that.
Nick, is this your favorite toy?
After watching the story, why this is a swell gimmick, there's one in the store that was even better.
Anybody want some orange juice or toast or anything at all? No?
Nick, tell me, do you like that some ladylike stuff?
You've got to admit you don't see boobies like that every day.
I mean, physically. When you think of your mother, well, when you see Bubbles, and Bubbles goes on and off like that.
Sandy, his mother's chest did not light up. Let's get that straight. Actually, Albert.
Perhaps you could turn those off. I mean, turn her off. I mean, turn it off. Unplug
Nick,
it.
when you bought this doll, what...
Sandy, why don't I save you a lot of time? Nick is a very bright kid. And you know, he knows that girls are not boys, but, well, other than that, his interest in ladies right now is confined to ones that light up, and then ones that don't light up. Sandy, I'll tell you something. Nick doesn't have any unusual fixations. You see, he's no more abnormally interested in your bust than, say, Mr. Munson over here.
Mr. Burns,
I could be wrong about that.
our interest in that doll.
See, you really are interested in that doll, aren't you, Albert?
Our interest in that doll
I'll
is...
sell it to you for $2.
Sandra, I fail to see what is funny and what is humorous.
It's just that it was funny, Albert.
Perhaps then I should pursue the profession.
Albert, I really do feel it would be better.
Look, Albert, the lady was just laughing because something funny happened. It's the best thing to do under the circumstances.
Mr. Burns.
Hey, how would you all like to go to the Statue of Liberty? I have it on great authority from the weather lady that today is a wonderly day. I don't think that you two are going to work out your problems with each other. But I am really glad that you came to me because I think I can help you. You see, Al, Sandy is not going to respect you because you threaten her. Respect is going to have to come gradually, naturally. You know, it's a maturing process.
Folks, what's all the trouble here? I mean, Nick is my nephew. He's staying with me for a while. He's just visiting.
Well, how long has he been in the home?
7 years?
And the child's father, where is he?
That's not really a where question, that's actually a who question.
I don't think I understand.
Yeah, and Nick's mother, she didn't quite understand either.
She is still living,
Well, my sister is unquestionably alive, Sandy.
but her responsibility to the child.
Well, for 5 years, she did everything she could for Nick, but get married. It's kind of hard to understand because, truth be told, she used to get married to everybody. But, you know, somehow having Nick matured her. She felt a responsibility not to get married to just anyone. And so she didn't marry Nick's father, and nor was she married at the time that Nick was born. So you might call Nick a bastard, or a little bastard, depending on how whimsical you feel at the time. Boy, folks, I'm telling you, we got a real social worker's paradise on our hands, don't we? My sister, she showed up here one day with 2 suitcases, a hat box, a blue parakeet, a dead goldfish, and a 5-year-old child. 3 days later, she went downstairs to buy a pack of filter-tip cigarettes. 6 years later, she returned for the suitcases and the hat box. The parakeet I had given away, the goldfish I had long since flushed down the toilet, and the 5-year-old child had, with very little effort, suddenly become 6 years older. Now, when Elaine returned for her luggage, I reminded her about the pack of filter-tip cigarettes and the child, of course, and suggested to her this was perhaps the longest-running practical joke in recent history. She was accompanied by a tall chap, this young guy with sunglasses, born to be her 5th divorce, I think. And the guy tried to start a small conversation with me. At which point, I remember that I slapped my sister. And then the 5th divorce slugged me. Sister cried, stopped quite suddenly, and then proceeded to explain to me, briefly, her well-practiced theory on the meaning of life. A philosophy falling somewhere to the left of Woodley. At which point, I remembered that, I started laughing. And then we all started to laugh. And then we said goodbye, like people at the end of a long party. Now, that was almost a year ago now, and I've still got Nick.
But surely she must have had some concern about Nicholas.
Well, his name is not Nicholas. I mean, granted, he's been using that name the longest, but actually he was Bill for almost 8 months there.
On the birth certificate, there must be a
Well,
name.
certainly an elusive document, that one. You see, not having given him a last name, Wayne felt reticent about assigning Nick a first one as well. When he first came here, this presented a real difficulty. I mean, he wouldn't answer to anything. Even the parakeet knows its own damn name. And Nick wouldn't answer at all unless he was positive there was nobody else in the room.
Then how did you communicate with him?
Well, I made a deal with him when he was 6 years old. Up to which point, he was rather casually known as Chubby. That he could pick any name he wished for however long he wished, up until his 13th birthday. At which point, he would have to decide on a name that he liked permanently. He went through a long period of dog names for a while. When he was still little, Rover and King having a real vogue, I think. Then for 3 months, he was Big Max. Then there was Little Sam. And then Rock, Rex, Mike, Chip, Fred, Yancey, Woodrow, Phantom, Lefty. Yep. I think every single dog name he picked, he used it.
I think his Cub Scout membership lists him as Raphael Sabatini. His library card, Barry Fitzgerald. And just this past week, somebody called here and asked if Toulouse could come over to his house for dinner. Nick seems to be the one that will stick, though.
Nicholas's mother, where is she?
Elaine communicates with my brother and myself almost entirely by rumor. I don't believe I've left anything out here, folks.
I was not aware that Nicholas was an OW child.
OW?
Well, of course, out of wedlock.
Oh. See, for a minute there, I thought you meant prisoner of war. I think it's a natural world to
And regardless of what you think of me, Mr. Burns,
I think that you're a dirty OW.
you know what you are? You know what you are? You are maladjusted.
Oh! Now say, how would you like a cup of coffee or a pastrami sandwich?
No, thank you. This is absolutely the most unprofessional experience I have ever had.
Miss Markowitz, people fall into two distinct categories. There are those who like delicatessen, and those who don't like delicatessen. Now, a man who's not touched by the earthy lyricism of hot pastrami, the pungent fantasy of corned beef, frankfurters, the lusty impertinence of good mustard. That is a man of stone and without heart. Albert, obviously not a lover of delicatessen. And you are well rid of him.
What am I going to do? This is an awful day.
Miss Markowitz, this is a wonderful day, and I'll tell you why. My dear, you are a jolly old girl, and you're well rid of Albert. Think of it this way. You've been given the rare opportunity to return the unused portion and have your money refunded.
But my work, what am I going to do?
Miss Markowitz, you are a lover. You are a lover of people and things, and so you took a job where you could get at as many of them as possible. And it just turned out there was too many of them, and too much that moves you. But damn it, please be glad that you're not reasonable or sensible. Have all the gratitude in the world that you are capable of embarrassment and joy. And you're a marathon crier.
There is a kind of relief that it's gone, the job and even Albert. But I know what this is. This is just irresponsible. I haven't the vaguest idea who I am.
It's just, Sandy, it's just that there's so many Sandras running around at first who you've never met before. And you know, it's confusing at first, but fantastic, like a Chinese fire drill. Damn, isn't it great to find out how many Sandras there are? It's like in the circus. This tiny red cup comes out and starts puttering around. All of a sudden, it stops. Its doors pop open. And out come 1,000 clowns, whooping and hollering and raising hell.
What is this?
Oh, that's my undershirt. I tried to go to the Empire State Building.
I'll have that cup of coffee now.
Well, you didn't answer my question, Miss Markowitz. Would you like to visit the Empire State Building?
Not really.
How about the zoo?
Not just now.
Well then, will you marry me?
What?
Just a bit of shock treatment for you. You know, I found after long experience it's the quickest way to get a woman's attention when her mind wanders, and it always works.
Mr. Burns.
Oh! Now that you've cried, you can't call me Mr. Burns anymore. Same rule applies for laughing. My name is Murray.
Well, Murray, to sort of return to reality for a bit.
Okay, but I only go as a tourist.
You know that you're in trouble. The board really could take Nicholas away, but there's things you can do to make your case a little stronger.
Sandy, sorry, but do you realize you're not wearing your shoes?
Oh,
Here I am with all of my favorite books. Fun in the Rain, The Young Railroader, Great Philosophers, Science for Youth, a Spanish dictionary. What I did is I left them outside while I was playing.
Nick, you just killed a whole month's allowance for nothing.
Miss Markowitz there isn't even on our case anymore.
I shouldn't have left. I knew what happened. You got mad and you yelled at everybody.
Don't worry about it. We'll work it out. Nick. We have a guest. A music lover. You know what we gotta do, right? We have to do our song.
This is no time for song.
I'm sure it'll be requested. Come on, where's your professional attitude? Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, ma'am, you're invited. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now. Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, by the way.
When we walk up to the preacher, I'll say, yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, ma'am, we've decided. No, ma'am, we won't hide it. Yes, ma'am, you're invited now.
It was nice to meet you, lady. I'll see you around.
Where are you off to, Nick?
I'm going to go leave my stuff up at Miss Myers' place. I figure I'll be staying up there tonight.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. Sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Murray, you're a nut. A man has a job for you. There's a hiring on
A
Thursday.
fool in a box telling me what's funny. A welfare board checking my underwear every week because I don't look good in their files. And I'm the nut, right? I'm the crazy one.
Murray, you're a balloon. You're floating around and everybody's waiting for you with a pin. I'm trying to put you in touch with real things.
Oh, like this office. Real things like this office. You know, Iron, the world could come to an end tomorrow. You'd find out about it over the phone. Look at this, look at this. You got pictures of your wife 8 years ago when she was still a piece. And then your kids 4 years ago when they were still cutest and looked best for the office. You're in touch all right, Arnie.
Murray, listen, you're upset. I understand. It's okay. Calm down. Everything's going to be okay. Come on, fix your tie.
For God's sakes!
What?
I just insulted you!
Ah!
I just said lousy things to you! About your wife, your kids! I said lousy things about your family! Will you raise your voice? Will you at least raise an eyebrow? For God's sakes, have an argument with me!
Murray?
Oh my God. I've been attacked with a ladies' home journal.
Murray, what a nice suit you've got. How is everything? Which one of the jobs did you end up getting?
Hey, look at this.
You really like it?
Yeah, sure. The place has kind of an unusual feel about it now. Kind of fun gothic.
I mean, of course I'm not really finished yet. The curtains aren't all up, and this chair won't look so bad when it's reupholstered. Come on, Murray, don't leave me in suspense. Which one of the jobs did you end up
I
getting?
shall now leave you breathless with the strange and wondrous tale of Mr. Lad's adventures in downtown Oz. A picture, if you will, me. I'm walking downtown about an hour ago, and I decided to construct and develop a general, all-purpose apology. Nothing fancy, just the words, I am sorry, but said with a little bit of style.
Sorry for what?
Anything really. For being late, for being early, stupid, silly, asleep, alive, doesn't matter. So you know when you're walking downtown, you say a few words out loud to yourself. So I said, I am sorry. And this fella, this complete stranger, he looks up at me second, and he goes, "That's all right, pal." And he walks right on. Sandy, he automatically forgave me. I communicated. 5 o'clock rush hour. You're going to walk up to someone in Midtown Manhattan and say, "Hey, sir, I believe your hair's on fire." They wouldn't even hear you. So I decided to test the whole thing out scientifically. I stood right there on the corner of East 51st and Lex, just saying, "I'm sorry," to everyone that went by. "Gee, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Terribly sorry, missus. Oh, pardon me, sir." Of course, some of them looked at me like I was a total idiot, but Sandy, 75% of them actually forgave me. 75%! "That's all right, pal. No worries, buddy. Oh, no problem at all." You know, 2 ladies, they forgave me in unison. This one guy forgave me from a passing car. And then there was this other guy, he forgave me for his dog. "Puffer forgives a nice man, don't you, Puffer?" Sandy, it was remarkable. I tapped some sort of vast reservoir. Something had happened to all of them, for which they felt somebody else should apologize for. I said to them, "I am sorry." And they were all so kind, so generous. I mean, you could go up to someone in the street and offer them money, they'd refuse it. But everybody accepts apology immediately. It is the most negotiable form of currency. You know, you could offer them love, and they wouldn't accept it half as graciously, as unquestionably.
That's certainly very interesting, Murray.
You know, Sandy, I can run up on the rooftop right now and holler, "I'm sorry!" And 500,000 people will yell right back, "That's okay, just so you don't do it again."
You didn't take any of the jobs.
Sandy, listen, I took what I am, okay? I put a suit on it, gave it a haircut, I took it outside, and that's what happened. Look, I know what I said to you this morning. I know what I promised. And Sandy, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. What? Damn, you gotta love a guy who can apologize so nice. I mean, come on, Sandy, I rehearsed for over an hour. Sandy, that's the most you can expect from life. A really good apology for all the things you won't get.
I don't understand. What happens to Nick now? What about the child welfare board?
Sandy, you're fine and jolly lady.
If you
Please.
didn't like a job so your brother found for you, then take any job.
Sandy, Nick is a wonderful kid, but he's brought the goddamn world in on me. I mean, don't you see? They'd be checking up on me every week. Being judged by people that I don't know and who don't know me. A committee of ghosts. You give me a week of that, I'd rather turn into an ashtray or a bowl of cornflakes. I wouldn't know me on the street. Hey, have you seen Murray? Where's Murray? He was just here a minute ago. Have you seen Murray? Sandy, how can it be of any use to you or to Nick or to anybody?
I've had no effect. I've made no difference.
Sandy, please understand.
When you left this morning, I was so sure.
Sandy, this morning, I saw the most beautiful sailing this morning. The Sklar Swedish liner, bound for Europe. I tell you, it's a great thing to do when you're about to start something new. You see a boat off. There's a sailing practically every single day this time of year. You know, it's great, Sandy. You go on the dock and you stand there with all the well-wishers and you throw confetti in the air and you make a big racket. Hey, bon voyage, Charlie! Have a wonderful trip! You know, there's another one this Friday. A big friendship two-stacker.
Murray, Nick will have to go away now. I've got new beds at Altman. I haven't spoken to my mother in 2 days, and you went to see a boat? I have enough sense to leave you. My God, I'm a list maker. I can see why Nick likes it here so much. I would like
Markowitz, anything can happen above an abandoned Chinese restaurant.
Maybe you're wonderfully independent. Or maybe you're the most incredibly selfish person I have ever met.
What? That's just great, Sandy. What are you going to do now? Go back and live in a closet? That's going to be quite charming. You and Albert guarding the Lincoln Tunnel together.
So many wonderful things you can do with a one-room apartment. You're willing to use your imagination. Goodbye, Murray.
Hey, damn it! You forgot your files! The management is not responsible for personal property! What the hell have you done in my place? Where? 1 o'clock. Where are my clocks? Where the hell are my heels? Where the hell are my heels? What happened to my stuff? Where'd it go? Your goddamn Sunnybrook farm? What the hell happened to my place? Arn, yeah, what the hell happened to you? You got so old. I mean, for God's sakes, I don't even know you anymore. When you quit Harry the Fur King on 38th Street, remember that? Do you remember that?
It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, you told me you were going to be in 20 businesses in 20 years if you had to be. Look, things were always going to be different. Harry said you weren't behaving maturely enough for a salesman. Your clothes didn't match or something. So you know what you did? Next day, you came in dressed perfectly. Homburg, gray suit, cufflinks, carrying a rolled umbrella, and you came into his office on roller skates.
Yeah.
I mean, Art, you weren't going to take crap from anybody. But that's finally the business you picked. Taking crap from everybody.
Well, I don't do practical jokes anymore. That's what you mean.
Practical. That's exactly it, Arnie. A way to stay alive. Look, if most things aren't funny, then they're only exactly what they are. And then it's just one long dental appointment, interrupted occasionally by something exciting, such as waiting or falling asleep. What's the point, Art? What is the point if I leave everything exactly the way that I find it? And I'm just adding to the noise, taking up more room on the subway with those other people.
Bobby, listen. Bobby, the board has their specifications. If you just follow a couple of specifications, everything is going to be solved.
You don't get it anymore, Arnie. Look, you got that wide stare that people stick in their eyes so nobody knows their head's asleep. Arnie, you gotta be a shuffler, a moaner. You want me to come and sit and eat fruit with you and watch the clock run out. You start to drag and stumble with the rotten weight of all the people that you should have told off. All the things you should have said. All the specifications that aren't yours. Only thing you got left to correct is your food in a restaurant. You know, if they make it wrong, you can send it back and make a big fuss with the waiter. Arn, let me tell you something. 5 months ago, I was on the subway, on my way to work. I was sitting in the express, looking out the window, same as every morning, with my arms folded, my head empty, not feeling great, not feeling rotten, just not feeling it all. And I couldn't remember, Arnie, I couldn't remember unless I really concentrated. Whether it was a Tuesday or a Thursday, for God's sakes, Arnie, it could have been any day. Sitting in a train, going through any day, in the dark, through any year. Art, it scared the crap out of me. I mean, for God's sakes, you gotta know what day it is. You gotta know what the name of the game is and what the rules are. without anyone else having to tell you. You have to own your days and name them, each and every one of them. Or else, the years just go right by, and none of them belong to you. And that ain't just for weekends, kiddo. Leo, hey, Nick! Nick! Stop! Just stop! Put this down for a second, okay?
Murray, get your juke. We'll sing to him and he'll go away.
Just, hey, quiet now. Be quiet for 1 minute, okay?
Murray, please let him go away. We don't need morons like that here. It's the crummy statue. That crummy statue is a terrible statue.
Hey,
Rotten Mark
just cut it out. Just cut it out. Cut it out. Stop. Kid, I'm sorry. Just take it easy. I'm sorry.
Murray,
Nick, you better go to your room.
this is a one-room apartment.
Go to your alcove. We all I'm terribly sorry. You were just kidding around. We didn't mean anything.
I get carried away myself.
What? We all got a little bit excited, I guess, right? Hey, so I'll see you at work in the morning.
Yeah, I'll see you back at the studio tomorrow. You both hate me, right?
Nobody hates you, Lil.
Hey, you want to leave that statue lying about, eh?
Oh, the statue?
Yeah, yes.
No.
Great, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, up a bit higher. Let's go. Oh,
Over here?
That's right.
Is that good?
It's great.
Perfect.
It's fantastic.
Well, falls down a little bit, but it's okay, right?
Why don't you come for a drink with me?
A drink? No, I'm okay, but maybe some other time.
Okay. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a little monkey, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hey, you're a little monkey, right?
Hello, lady.
Hello, Nick.
Can I help you with any of that?
As a matter of fact, Nick, I don't think the overall effect, the design of the room is really helped by all these knickknacks.
Junk?
Yes.
Yeah, even out the overall design of the room.
So if you could just put them in that crate right there.
Sure, lady.
Sandy, well, let's not get hasty here. It's my apartment, Sandy, hold on a second. Nick, wait a minute. Wait a second. Nick, I didn't tell you. Nick!
Wilbur! Wilbur Halbert!
Wilbur? Okay, will you two give me just 1 minute? Can I just get a minute? Will you just wait for 2 seconds even? Campers! The entertainment committee was quite disappointed by the poor turnout at this morning's community sing. Now, come on. Where's that old Camp Chickawatomie spirit? Now, I think I speak for all of us here this evening when I say that I speak for all of us here this evening. What I'd like to say is that I speak for us, all of us here this evening, when I say that campers, I can't think of anything to say.